master the art. And the thing is that these scars are scary, but they are just small scars. We should never be afraid of them. You and I know when we are too far apart, everything just falls apart. So I'll just close my eyes and dream about our kids and how they're running around. Won't you come and lay down next to me? Close your eyes and we'll be free. I'll keep my head high while we're crossing the land. With all the minds we lay down, it's gonna take us some time, but I won't give up, though I know it's tough. We need to break our patterns. It's better now than after we have drifted off too far. Let's tear down these walls our destiny has called. We're walking down a path, and the wind will change at last, like a song about our past. So I'll just close my eyes and dream.
Well, hey, hello, how are you? Good morning on this, in Charlotte, chilly but sunny, almost autumn day. It's 2 days away, but it feels like it's right here, right now. it's quite interesting because I've been watching these trees turn and leaves fall for quite some time. At least probably since August. You know, the shop I've got over on the Crown Point area of town, um, we have a somewhat of a tree-lined street, and it was quite bizarre in July to start seeing all the leaves just whoop, flop. So they've been bare for well, couple of months. As long as I'm just sort of like, this is what I pay attention to. Hence, it's a good segue into what we're going to talk about today, which is shut up and listen. And I, I put these things out there to get people's attention, really, truly, because I do feel that way sometimes about myself, not taking a breath and listening to really what the hell am I saying? What am I talking about? I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and I didn't know, you know, when I come here a couple of times a week to do the kicking back, whatever this is, live thing, I can't really call it a show because there's not really much of an audience other than those folks who want to pay attention and tune in, and I love you for doing it. But I never really know, well, what's the point? What am I doing this for and why? And, you know, everyone talks about content, coming up with content. Oh, excuse me, I got an itch. One pick of my nose. Coming up with content. And for me personally, I think we all have something to say all the time. And it's meaningful. And we do a lot of talking to ourselves up in our head with our thoughts. What's important is to listen to, first of all, what you're saying, and not just with words and conversations and chat and all of that, but what's the message behind what you're saying? Is there a message? And for me, it landed in, I want to be able to share and impart something that is going to help or at least shift or give a perspective that might cause a person to think a little bit. You know, we if you're doing so much, talking so much, being so much, well, actually, if you're doing and talking, you're not really being. There you go. That's what I want to say. Because that's all busy stuff. It's to fill in this vacuum that we're not comfortable being quiet and we're not comfortable listening. We're not comfortable sitting still. I happened to go into Costco yesterday. That's an experience, I have to say. Well, shopping anywhere is an experience. And I was one of those small children that, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, ran around like crazy, talking up a storm and probably not behaving. And, you know, my mum used to take me to task, and one time we were outside Woolworths and I can't remember what I did. The story's been told since. But I don't remember the incident at all, and I don't even remember how old I was. But something happened. I was misbehaving. And my mother just pulled me by the arm, took me outside, you know, lost her temper a little bit, and spanked me. And a lady, rather concerned that I was being abused, came and approached my mother and basically said, you know, you should not do that. Let's just stop hurting that child. So I don't know what she did. And my mother, being my mother, and I love her so much, told the lady basically to shut up and mind her own business, which really, now I think it's comical, but it does make us listen. You know, when somebody's going on and on and on and they're talking themselves up the side of a mountain and into some, you know, big crazy chatter, yo, don't you really want to go say, would you just shut up a minute? And it's not being unkind. It's just showing somebody that while they're being all of this, this crap's going on, there's no room for the good stuff, the juicy stuff, the really important things that we're not really listening to. The other side of it is to sit quietly and listen. There's a fear involved in listening to something that could possibly be the truth. And that's really what everybody deserves, is the truth. Getting to the truth. Well, what is the truth? Is it my truth? Is it your truth? Who is telling the truth? And this is where we find ourselves right now in multiple cultures where everyone's got an opinion about something. As an observer, I've watched. This is where listening is so important. Everybody has a thought, an opinion, and that leads automatically to a reaction. Now, a reaction is a learned behavior. The truth is something that comes up, and we either, two choices: you accept it, do something with it, or you don't accept it and do nothing with it. When the truth comes up more than once, that you've got to pay attention. You know, for example, I don't know, someone says, I need to lose weight. And they put their hand in the cookie jar again. Or, gosh, I need to probably not drink another glass of wine, but let me just finish the bottle. I mean, this is just normal human behavior, but there's the listening. You've talked yourself into something else. You've said and you know and understand that truth is, the underside of you is saying, this is probably going to get you not where you want to be, but you're doing it anyway. But why is that? That's the truth. Seeking the truth, sitting with the truth, shifting that narrative, listening to what you're saying, acting on what you're listening to. It's all part of a balance that we're all really looking for. I've long thought, since said that what seems to be going on to me right now with, I don't know whether you want to call it the news or what, people talking, it's can be two things. It can be the most interesting time to be alive on the planet watching the shifting, or it can be the most devastating time to be on the planet if you are forced into a shift that you weren't expecting. That is happening to everyone. We are shifting, and sometimes we're not expecting that shifting. I think about those folks out on the West Coast who, quite frankly, a week or so ago had a home and had relatives, and now they've burnt to a crisp and they've gone, completely obliterated. I cannot imagine what that's like, to come around the corner and realize that not only my house, but the entire street's gone and it's nothing but ash. It would change lots and lots and lots of things. One thing it does do is alters what you believe is security for you. Towards the end of the week, we heard that Justice Ginsburg had lost her battle with an illness, and many people were moved by it. The lady had done a great deal to put women in positions of power and justice, and probably was a pioneer of her time, and kept going. She was defiant about giving up and giving in. She completely lived the purpose that she was put here to do, and did it well. And this is where it comes to the part of, what are we listening to? And if you really don't know the purpose that you're here for, or the purpose that you've got, that's fine. I don't think the majority of us really know exactly what we're doing and what our purpose is. I hear that a lot from whether they are meditation students, salon clients, or people I'm counseling with. I don't know if I want to call it psychic because it feels a little bit weird saying that, but I do talk to dead people and I do listen to what they've got to say. And oddly enough, the ones that are the loudest and the ones that talk the most are the ones that tell the truth, and I need to pay attention and listen. If any of you've gone onto YouTube, you caught my Kevin Cross interview with spirits. It's quite enlightening. I had my good friend Maggie, who gladly allowed me to talk with her relatives. And we had quite interesting conversations. Delightful. It wasn't anything bad or evil or terrible. It was quite a lovely conversation, but enlightening. That is something I think I want to do to create a shift and to create a way for people to feel, okay, somebody's listening. I feel like somebody's listening to what I've got to say. Everyone's got a lot to say, but how many people, including ourselves, me included, are listening? So that's the point of this. Shut up and listen. Not shut up, be rude, but just be quiet. Get quiet. It's okay not to know. I think I did one last week before about not knowing. The Buddha, basically, whenever he's interviewed and they get asked these wise questions and he says, I don't know, he sits there with a smile on his face. It's like, okay not to know. It brings us also to being present to where we are right now. And what we have right now at our disposal at the moment. You could look at it in two ways. We're either going down a rocky road, a bumpy road, it's going to get terrible, everyone's going to do whatever. You could go down there, it's possible. You could then say, wow, there is so much shifting in so many levels in so many people's lives. This is unbelievable. Like, for example, you can pretty much do anything, be anyone, have any opportunity, because the world is saying, this is what we need to do. We need to shift, we need to shake, we need to move. And if you look at things in a lighter, brighter sense, that you really cannot create new space without dumping what was there to begin with. You cannot have a fabulous closet full of great new clothes until you get rid of all those old clothes you've been holding on to because you think you're going to fit into them one day or not fit into them one day or whatever that means. But I'm just using these as analogies. I don't think there's anything wrong with making something that you care about, renewing it, renovating it, a house, a home, a car, plants, the yard, cleaning things up, tidying up. But still there's renewal. There's the renewal of, getting rid of the old to embrace the new. That's renewal. This came up for me yesterday, or was it today? I did a meditation at 5:30 today and I pulled a card. I've started using these Oracle Wisdom from the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. Oracle cards, I think I've talked about them. They're very individual for everyone. They speak to whoever wants to go look at them. And I picked these up, I think, maybe, I don't know where, and I really don't know how I got them. I think it was one of these things that here was a card that spoke to me and I decided I liked it. I liked kind of the message and I love the artwork on it, and so I bought them. And in the beginning, at the front of every Oracle deck, I believe there is a way that you can get in tune with the cards so you can find wisdom from them. Some of you might be like into that, some of you may not be. But anyway, it came up this morning. I draw a card to meditate on, and the card this morning was the Two Sisters, Spirit of the Two Sisters. And the Spirit of the Two Sisters talks about a season ending and a season coming, and what one depends on which sister you're talking to. And the season sister that's leaving leave it behind, let it go. That there's an ebb and a flow to everything. When we're holding on, when we're chattering, when we're going on and on and on about things needing to be the same, that's when it gets stuck. That's when we get stuck in growth. That's when we get stuck in transformation, and nothing's possible. Being held on to something that you can't change, that's changing, is stuck stuff. Incidentally, I this morning I thought, well, let me see what this week looks like for folks. What's up there this week, and what kind of hope I could give, or what would come up from these cards. Let me see. I never know. I mean, there's no real way to shuffle cards. Some people do it some way, some people do it the other way, some people use tarot. I think it's up to the individual. Some folks do well with telling a story in tarot cards. Some people use a regular set of playing cards. My grandmother used tea leaves. I just sit and listen, and spirits come and they just chat. So there's all kinds of different ways. So I was just shuffling through the cards, asking the question, what's coming up for this week? I wanted something for the beginning of the week, something for the middle of the week, and something for the end of the week. And with just no rehearsal or precognition, what I thought was the 3 cards flopped out, but actually there was 4. There was one hiding underneath the middle one, and they came out like 1, 2, 3. So I asked the question, and here it goes. So I've got them. I took photographs of them. So, because I don't have another camera to push down on the top to show you. But here is the, let's see where we put that overlay. I did a pictorial overlay. Where did I put it? Let's see if this is it. No, that's another one. This is it. No, that's another one. Let me go down through here. Oh, well, it must have disappeared. Let me go up into here and see if I can find this one. Was it in there? Was it down in here? It's got, well, let me see if I can pull it in this way. There we go. Boom, and open. There. So I hope you can see that. It is the Chess Queen for the beginning of the week. And the Chess Queen talks about giving you the tools to trust what's coming up for you, and letting you have the tools you have to start the week off, to put out there what you want and know that you're going to get the tools that you need, whether that's the people, the conversation, just to trust that it's going to happen. For the middle of the week, we have the Queen of the Light, and that's illumination, enlightenment, and celebration. This is to remind you that you're on the right path, and that, oddly enough, the middle of the week being Wednesday, Thursday, depending on when your week ends, that's the brand new autumn season that's coming in. And it's time to tidy up. It's time to, the growth season of summer has sort of started to fade. So begin to put things away, put things up, tidy up the garden. We do all sorts of things with nature. Nature begins to start to hibernate, starts to prepare itself for celebration of the winter, the gathering of things that you need for the winter, the summer clothes and all those things get packed away or donated, whatever. So the Queen of Light is illumination, enlightenment, and celebration, celebrating the new season that's coming, and lifting up to celebrate harvest, lifting up to celebrate light and joy and everything that's coming towards Thanksgiving. Then underneath it, hiding underneath it, was the Phoenix. And the Phoenix is really about coming up out of the ashes, coming up out of what was something that we wanted, we didn't get, whatever that was, that something's brand new. And it's interesting, I was talking to somebody who works for a financial firm, and they have analysts that analyze world finance and trends and funds and all of this. I don't know anything about any of that. And they basically said, well, we're in the new cycle. We've already come out of the recession. And I was aghast. I mean, in my head, I thought, well, everybody's talking about how terrible things are, how, we've still got this unemployment, and how, financially that they are just having these big struggles, but yet analysts are quite set on the fact that we've come into a renewal. We're starting the news cycle. I found that quite enlightening, and I was quite surprised by it. But still, the Phoenix talks about that. Talks about a renewal, a new cycle, things coming, and just surrender to the change. Which brings me to the last card, which is the River Queen, which came up for the end of the week, towards the weekend. This card is really talking about, when we ride the river, whether you've gone river rafting, whether you've just been floating, just float along with the tide. Let whatever is happening happen. Whatever's coming towards you, just know that you're on the right path, that everything is being worked in your favor. Resistance is a way of saying no. Resistance is a way of digging your heels in. If you've ever held on to something so tightly because of what you believe in, because of the fear of letting go or the fear of vulnerability, you know that that is exhausting. It's exhausting. When you let go of the confusion, when you shut up and listen, when you just surrender to something that's going to happen anyway, it's a relief. There's a release. No one's saying you're wrong for holding on to your beliefs. No one's saying that you are ridiculous or being ridiculous for doing that. But there comes a time when you know things will change. The listening part is your way of understanding what part you play in holding on to that stuff. So, I'm going to read from our book. Then we're going to do a quick 5-minute meditation, not very long this morning. And if you like meditation and you like doing the meditation, I post the links on my personal Facebook page. This is going out on my business Facebook page. They're up there. They don't go down. They don't get. I don't think they expire. But it's just something I do every day at 5:30. I'm not expecting people to get up at 5:30 in the morning and meditate, but you can if you want to. Otherwise, catch it when you can. All right, Melody Beatty, here's our Journey to the Heart book. Let's see if this talks about renewal and the new seasons, or whether it talks about truth, or whether it talks about being quiet and being still. We'll see what happens. Oddly, I just find it so odd that these messages come. So I'll just pop the feather in any which way. Open it up. All right, April 28th, reward yourself. Well, doesn't seem like it works, but we know. There we go. Where is it? There we go. Reward yourself. I don't know why I show you. I mean, maybe it's because perhaps you think it's rehearsed. I don't know. Anyway, take time to reward yourself. Let it become a deliberate and practiced habit. Many of us grew up in families or with people who didn't reward us. We weren't rewarded for good behavior. We weren't rewarded for or loved unconditionally, just for being, and particularly for being us. Although many of us strive to change that behavior by rewarding the people around us, we may have neglected the importance of rewarding someone very important, ourselves. It is one thing to mentally congratulate ourselves for a job well done. It is another to take the time to actually, deliberately, and specifically reward ourselves. How many years do we have to live before it's time to treat ourselves? How much good do we have to do before it's good enough to give ourselves a gift? Maybe it's time right now, today, to begin practicing the habit of rewarding ourselves. Our souls can become tired, very weary of striving to grow, to do things well, to do our best at life, love, and work if there's no reward. Our passion can wane if good is never good enough. And if the rewards and the pleasures are always at bay, somewhere out in the distant future, if you find yourself beginning to resist working hard, doing well, striving for spiritual growth, maybe it's because you're neglecting to reward yourself for all you've already done. If you feel like the world offers no reward to you, maybe it's because you're not cooperating by rewarding yourself. Stop punishing and depriving yourself. Don't let others punish you for a job, a day, or a life well done. Don't let others punish you for a job, a day, or a life well done. Instead, reward yourself. Take a break and do something specific, especially nice for you. Something that would make you happy. Buy yourself something. It can be a little gift or it can be a splurge. Take yourself somewhere you want to go. Do something fun, magical, and exciting. Something that makes your heart sing and your spirit soar. Reward yourself by allowing yourself to enjoy what you give yourself or what you're doing. Make rewarding yourself an attitude. I like that. Make rewarding yourself an attitude. Yes. Reward yourself often when you accomplish a particular task, when you've gone through a grueling part of a healing process. Reward yourself during those frustrating times just for being so patient. Sometimes reward yourself just for being you. I started doing that a while ago. Not blatantly, not lavishly, but it helped me get over the guilt of not deserving or not being worthy. It still comes up. It still comes up for me, and I have such a wonderful support group of friends that remind me that, you deserve this. You work hard for this. Look what you do for other people. And then I get to myself thinking, well, if they're telling me this and I'm not believing it, there's something wrong with that picture. So I started just little tiny things, reading a book, taking a course, going on, I don't know, doing something to move forward. All right, it's time to meditate. So what I want you to do is put your feet flat on the floor, close your eyes. I take my glasses off at this point, so when my eyes are closed, glasses are off, folks tuning in can fast forward, see this point, know that it's time to meditate. Get quiet. Begin with your breath. Breathe in everything that you know about yourself which is true. Let go of all the lies you've been telling yourself which is just not true. Keep doing it, breathing in the goodness about you, breathing in the ease, your laughter, your joy, your peace. Let go of all the things that you don't believe. Now I want you to look through your third eye lens, the middle of your forehead, and imagine that you are sitting at a movie theater and you're the only one in the movie theater and the film is about to start. You begin to see the screen light up. And there, right in front of you, is your own self-image. You. Just look at yourself standing there, brilliant. Pay attention to the smile on your face, the lightness of your skin, your hair, and your clothes. Just breathe in all the goodness and grace that is you. As you look at yourself, seeing yourself, imagine that this image of yours is speaking back to you. Your own self, the star of your own life and your own movie, is saying things to you. Good things. Listen as the star of your life, the star of your movie, you, speaks about what you've accomplished. How you've overcome challenges. Allow yourself the grace to feel the overwhelming emotion that comes from self-gratitude. Listen and watch as your image looks straight into your own eyes. Look back into the eyes of the image of yourself on the screen. Look to see the perfect color of your eyes. And this color of your eyes was chosen particularly for you. Zoom in a little tighter to your eyelashes and how brilliantly each one of your eyelashes is placed delicately on your eyelid. Move down to your nose and how brilliant, wonderful, strong the bridge of your nose is. That it was particularly made for you to smell what you smell, to smell the wonderful foods that you make or may eat, smell nature, and focus on your nose and think about the one fragrance that puts a smile on your face and lifts your heart up. And just zoom out a little bit, take a look at your ears, the perfect shape of your ears. And how your ears delicately hear everything you hear. That the sounds that your ears are able to hear, the little bones inside your inner ear that vibrate to bring you the sounds of nature, the sounds of choir singing, music playing. And how sensitive your ears are. Zoom out again and focus on your lips and your mouth. And how the way your mouth forms sounds. And how your tongue delicately works around inside your mouth, above and below, to help you speak, to eat, to swallow, to breathe. All the things your tongue does automatically just for you. willingly, without condition, your tongue works for you to say beautiful things, to say wonderful things, to speak with joy, with love, with happiness, to compliment others. With your beautiful eyes and your wonderful ears and your amazing mouth and tongue, look directly at your image on the screen in front of you. Just tell yourself honestly, truthfully, I love you. Feel it. Breathe it in. Continue being with your reflection, accepting the curves of your body. Continue breathing in the goodness and the gratitude for everything there is about you that's perfect, already has been. And look back at your reflection again, deep into your eyes, with your heart open, and say to yourself, I forgive you. Forgive yourself for all of the negative, unkind things you've said about yourself. All the cruel, unkind comments you've made about your weight, about your hair, your eyes, your nose, your features. Forgive yourself for thinking anything other than how beautiful and brilliant, perfect you are. You have this physical body that no one else has. You have this brilliant, intelligent mind that no one else has. And you have the strength and power and capacity to change all of it. No one else has. Now begin to zoom out of your movie. Feet still flat on the floor. You're still in your environment, just allowing your third eye center to open up the possibility to give you the tools to begin to see yourself as a powerful human being, here to do the work, here to walk the path, and here to claim your purpose. As you look back at your reflection, totally accepting yourself as you are, as you're not, and start to see the people behind you and around you that are in your life. Begin with your immediate family. Those that are living and those that have passed, bring them into your picture. Listen to the compliments they're giving you. Now begin to see close friends, people you grew up with, or people you went to school with or college with, people you've put in your life as your chosen family. Listen for what they're saying to you, how they appreciate you, what they appreciate about you. In turn, hear yourself giving them compliments. Tell these friends and family members how you appreciate them being in your life, how you're grateful for all the things they do for you, how you're grateful for the support, their companionship, their love, their adoration. And continue zooming out, yourself in the middle, surrounded by your given family and surrounded by your chosen family. Now extend it out to all those you have yet to meet, all those who are on your path, on your life path, moving towards you, welcoming you into their life as you welcome them into your life. Hear the words of thanks from them, appreciation from them. Watch and see yourself greet them, welcome them. Express how nice it is for you to meet them. And just sit and breathe quietly to the image that you see, the way that you feel about yourself. Listen. Gently allow the lights of your movie screen to fade. When you're ready, bring your hands to prayer at heart center to acknowledge yourself for doing the work. And lift your thumb knuckles up between your eyebrows, bow forward, namaste. The light in me, the love in me, the peace in me, honors everything about you. You know, it always looks like I've woken up from a nap after I do those meditations. It just physically feels incredible. But the point of that meditation really is to let you honor yourself and be grateful for the fact that you're here on the planet because you're supposed to be. You're doing things that you're meant to do. And if any part of you feels that you've wronged or been wronged or hasn't gone quite right, listen to that. Somebody has an opinion about you, that's their opinion. Two choices: you either believe it and invite them to offer a way for you to change it, or thank them for their opinion and move on if you don't accept it. The truth is underneath. The truth comes from a higher part of ourselves. And if you really do need to readjust things, go back to the meditation, sit in front of your movie screen, start to look in your eyes, look in the mirror every day, do some mirror work. If you want to know what mirror work is, Hay House has some great workshops on mirror work. Louise Hay was the master at it. Anything we do that's new and different that we're not used to doing is a bit weird, a bit strange, because it's new territory. Anyway, that's been my lovely Kicking Back with Kevin. I hope you've enjoyed it. I am going to spend the afternoon, I don't know, doing some yard work, meeting some friends. I don't know what that would be. But listen, have a great one. I will see you Wednesday. No, this Wednesday there will not be a Kicking Back with Kevin. I have to go get my car worked on, and I'm not sure how I would do that from a dealership. Anyway, take it easy. Bye.